Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. We are in Season 2, Round 2. We're moving away from the dry, desert, sunny skies of Bahrain, where we saw some amazing action. Good stuff, brought up the P1 spot, followed by Nismax and then MJ Coupe. But we are now swapping it for the not so dry all the time, but Spain, the Circuit de Catalunya. We are going to have a fantastic race. It is an amazing circuit, 16 corners, all varying speeds. We've got long speed, we've got fast speed, medium speeds and slow speeds. We've got adverse cambers, we've got tricky braking zones. The corners are tricky. It's going to be a very high-tech circuit to test the guys and see what they can do in this race. So while the guys are just setting up to go out on their installation laps, let's just run through some of the things that I've picked up on this week from some of the other races. Some of the guys have been going for a very conservative one-stop race with the mediums and soft. Is that what we're going to see today? It's going to be interesting to see what the guys do. We have been seeing a bit of variation between the tactics used on races. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing, exactly what the guys are going to bring to the table. So looking at the field, we've got a couple of softs there, super softs and mediums. So as we're pulling out on these this installation laps, the guys are going for a full range of tyres. Now, do the guys that are going out on medium to soft, are they just going to do a bit of setup work, just get a feel for the circuit and then switch to a fast tyre? We do not know, but I'm very eager to find all this out. So going into Spain, unfortunately we do have a penalty for Steen, taking a one-place grid penalty after the race. So wherever he comes, he will drop one place. That is for incidents occurred in Bahrain. Now, it was an amazing race. If you caught that race, you know exactly what I'm about. But we had tyre bangs and side scrapes. You know, with you name it, we had it. So today, we've got 18 races, almost a full grid. It's going to be amazing, this. Running through the list, we have got Tony Y, who missed his first race in round 1. So welcome to Tony Y. Let's see what he can do today. Hopefully we're going to see some of the people from the back that were in the last race coming through to the midfield, opening up the front. It'd be nice to see some mixed racing with all the guys that were lagging on the last race. Obviously each course does have its benefits to some races and its negative points. Maybe this is one of your favourite tracks. It wasn't one of my favourite tracks originally. I thought it was a very difficult circuit, but I seem to have it down these days. Nowhere near as fast as these guys, what we're going to see today. But once you get this circuit and once you get your points picked right and your braking zone sorted out, it can be a very enjoyable circuit. Some people don't like it though. 2 DRS zones on this circuit. We've got one down the home finish straight, and we've also got one between turn 9 and 10, a very short straight. Now, going back to the circuit and just going through the different types of corners that we've got. Turn 1 and turn 2, obviously it's quite a heavy braking zone to turn 1, but you can open up on the steering. Follow it around from 2 and 3 with that long sweeping right-hander, and again 4 not so steep, but it can be tricky. Turn 4, I believe, has got the runaway camber, so if you're too eager on the acceleration there, you can spin the car or get a bit twitchy and lose time. Nice sharp left for 5, and then running into the quite medium to fast corner of 6, and then that dreaded 7 and 8. I call them the pair. You've got to get 7 lined up nice so you can just cut that. Just cut the apex of 8, carrying your speed up to the DRS detection zone. And again, you've got to get turn 9 right. If you're not right up the back of the next driver, then the DRS doesn't really come into effect. You've got to be really close on that short straight. Coming back round from 10, you're going up to 11. You've got the tight left turn that follows on 12 and 13. Now coming up to the 14 and 15, this is a very tricky gear zone and brake zone. So a lot of people tend to accelerate out of 13, going all the way up to 4th gear. Some people do go up to 5th, but I've never managed to get up to 5th. And then it's a quick deacceleration down into maybe 2nd gear. I think that I normally take it in 2nd gear, but and then obviously getting the power back on for that turn 15 and 16 to power it down the hole and finish straight. So we've got a few times set already. Tony Y's gone out and done a 118, almost dead there on the super soft, followed by Tynus, who is on a 118.3. We've got Steam 13 on 118.6 and GP Alex bringing it up on the mediums on a 118.8. That's an amazing lap on the mediums so far. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit faster as the session goes on and the track warms in and gets that better grip level. So looking there, a lot of guys are switching onto those medium tyres. Is this going to be a medium? Oh, we've got Jamie D92 just getting a bit rough there coming into the entry. Luckily, he's coming into the pits, so he can, if he's got any damage to his wing, he can get that changed. But quite a tricky pit entry there, especially if you're at racing, well, not racing speed, but you know, if you're trying to get that braking zone right for the pit lane line. As you can see there, you can make some mistakes. So I'm just watching Craig come around there. He'll be coming onto his fast lap in a second, I believe. Yeah, Craig's on his fast lap now, so let's see if the camera will stay with him. It's looking rather smooth there. So I wonder if the guys have actually had the thought to go into the weather forecast and see what's going to happen for the race. I did see, I think it was Monday night on one of the other league races, we had the two Mercedes that decided to go and set their fastest laps on the mediums, but it turned out that it was a wet start race. So whether that was mistakes during qualifying or whether they didn't look at the forecast, so it'd be interesting to see if the guys have also looked at the forecast and they're prepared for this. So coming down the order from White Fountain, we've got Vintino, who's done 3 laps on those soft tyres, so I'm sure he's going to get some fresh rubbers on and come out and try and improve on that time. Umberstone on a 118.8, so 2 laps on those medium tyres. That's quite impressive on the medium tyres though, especially when you've got people like Good Stuff who done a 118.4 on the mediums. That is very impressive. I can get nowhere near those times on mediums. I can get nowhere near those times on super soft, but that's why I'm spectating and not racing. So if you're joining us tonight, please comment on Twitter. I'm Energy Dan. Make sure you include the Invictus Racing League tag. If you have any questions or comments during the broadcast, I'll do my best to try and answer them. MJ Coupe looking nice and smooth there. It's a beautiful circuit. I absolutely love the technicality of this circuit. Like I said earlier, it is a tough circuit to get used to, but once you get it, it's so enjoyable. So with 18 races on the grid today, hopefully we won't lose anyone and it'll be an exciting race from start to finish. So I've still got a few guys to actually set some fast laps here. So NJ Cook coming up to the finish line and he's going to do a 121.5 on those medium tights. So the tricky turn of 7 and 8 there. Getting it linked up with Tony Y watching. He's coming up to that corner that is the very tricky right left-hander. The adverse cameras on this circuit are ruthless. You have to be so careful not to put too much power down. It'd be interesting to see on the latter stages of each. Oh, it's a 117.6 from Tony Y on the super soft tyre. And Tynus has done 4 laps on his super soft tyres, setting his fast lap of 118.1. So I would like to think that he's going to go put some fresh trainers on and set just an ever so slightly faster lap than he has done. Otherwise, he's going to be on some very poorly tyres pretty quickly on the race there. So likewise for Nick, he's set a 118.7. Let's do it the best. He's done the best on his mediums. He's done 4 laps on those. So looking at what they've set their best times on, my apologies, I did it on the wrong setting there. Super soft for Tony and Tynus. 2 laps for Tynus there. We've got good stuff doing a 118.4 on the mediums. That is very impressive. We've got Steen13 who's done 118.5 on the softs. He's currently on an outlap. MJ Coop on the mediums on a 118.5. That is also very impressive. Likewise for White Fountain, who's done a 118.6 on those medium tyres. Nick's done a 118.7. 4 laps on those medium tyres, so surely he's going to put some fresh rubber on. I wouldn't like to start the race on tyres that have done 4 laps in qualifying. Wouldn't be such a problem for the mediums. They've got much longer life, but obviously 4 laps life can mean many places lost towards the latter stages of the first stint there, especially when people are hungry for places, attacking. Again, what a circuit to be racing on. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be electrifying. Aaron J. Spencer, he's done 3 laps, also done a 118.7. 118.8 for Humberstone, he's done 1 lap on those. GP1 Alex, 118.8, also 1 lap. And Never Miss, who missed his first race of the season, unfortunately. He's joined us for round 2 in Spain. Hopefully we can see some good stuff from Never Miss and get some points back that he's missed. So running through the table after the round 1, just to keep everyone informed. Good Stuff is obviously sitting at the top on 15 points. That is good stuff. We've got Nizmax close behind on 12. We've got MJ Coop following up on 10. We've got Rudy sitting with 8. Jamie T92 with 6 points. Craig the Flying Scotsman, he's got 5 points. Nick, he's on 4 points. White Fountain with 3 points. Sir Spud with 2. And Jamie 63 is bringing up the rear with 1 point. So can we see any point scoring from the lower league people or lower table people? I'm sure they're going to be hungry for the points. This may put some pressure on the front guys, or can the guys at the front keep the pace and run away from them? We will soon see. Coming up to the last 5 minutes of the qualifying session. Tony Wise sitting pretty at the top there with a 117.6, followed closely by Vintino, who's done a 117.7. They both set theirs on super softs. Alex B's doing an impressive 117.8 on soft tyres there. Very impressive indeed. So we've got Tynus Optimal coming out. Oh! We've got a crash on the pit lane entry. It was the Force India. Vintino's crashed into the pit lane entry that separates the racecourse and the pit lane. It looked like it was a head-on smash. So like we were saying earlier, what a tricky entry to that pit lane. Luckily he set a good time there. He's on a 117.773. All being well, for him it won't be improved on by anyone else, but we'll soon see. Coming up to 3 minutes 47, so anyone on outlap will have a chance for maybe 2 fast laps. It's going to be tight, depends if they're on the sector 3 or not. It's unbelievable from Vintino there. So I'm sure he'll be kicking himself over that one. Looks like we have someone else going off on the back there in the gravel trap. I'm not sure who that was. So already in qualifying we've seen a bit of a few mistakes happening here. So on board with Aaron J. Spence, who is currently sitting on a 118. Let's see what tyres he's got fitted. He's got the soft tyre, fresh soft tyres fitted. It looks like a lot of people have got fresh softs fitted. So hopefully Jamie T is going to come out on some fresh rubber. He's done 3 laps on those mediums, or maybe he's thought that's enough. Oh, speaking of which, Jamie has actually come off on a fresh set of medium tyres. Has he got some damage, or is he just keeping off the racing line? So yeah, it's mistakes galore in qualifying so far. We've had Vintino that's gone into the pit entry concrete barrier. We've just watched Jamie T92, who has just gone off onto the grass, is rejoining slowly. It'd be interesting to see if he can get back. Maybe hopefully if he's not got damage, he might be able to get across to start a fast lap. Hopefully he's not got damage. So Sir Spud on a fresh set of softs, he's set a 119.7 and he was setting those on. So yeah, Sir Spud did it on medium, so surely on this he's going to see him come much higher up. Yeah, he takes a P8, a provisional P8 with a 118.4. So we're just riding with Jamie 63 here. Is he just on an outlap? It doesn't look to be. Yeah, I think he's just on an outlap there. Doesn't look to be absolutely. Yeah, he's on low deployment. So yeah, he's just gearing up for a fast lap. So good stuff. Our round 1 winner. He's sitting on a 117.7. Done 2 laps on those fitted tyres, the soft tyres. His best was on. Yeah, he set them on fresh softs, so yeah. So coming into the last 20 seconds of this qualifying session, Tony Weiss still sitting pretty at the top with 117.5. Who is going to come across that line and get a chance to do one more lap? So good stuff's just coming out the last few corners of 14, 15 and 16 now, coming down the home straight. 6 seconds. Does he improve? Oh, good stuff goes to the top with a 117.2 and knocks Tony Y off the spot there. Tony Y hasn't got time to complete another one. GP Alex is also not got time. So Humberstone, let's see what Humberstone can do. He's currently got some soft tyres. He's done his installation. Oh, looks like he's backed off there. Humberstone has backed off and coming into the pits. Never miss. He's sitting in P6 at the minute. It looks like he's going slow also. White Fountain is out. Nick on a fast lap on some soft tyres. Let's see what Nick can do now on this final stages of the qualifying. No, and he's avoiding. He's come in. So don't think anyone else is on a fast lap. No, so it's looking like we've got your P1 sitter of good stuff. Across the line. So yeah, I think that is your final standings for the race. We've got good stuff P1, followed by Tony Y, then Vintino with his accident in qualifying, GP1 Alex. We've got Humberstone in P5, Never Mix in 6. We've got Aaron J. Spence in 7, Tynus in 8, Sir Spud in 9. We've got Steen in P10. Jamie 63 is in P11, followed by MJ Coop. We've got White Fountain and Nick, followed by Jamie T, then Colin J in P16, Rudy in P17, with Craig the Flying Scotsman bringing in the wooden spoon position in P18. So it's going to be interesting for P11 onwards. Will they stick with the tyres they've done? It's going to be an amazing race, this. Exciting stuff. Seen quite a few mistakes there from the riders. Some people going off in the gravel, some people in the grass. Obviously we had the Vintino go off into the concrete barrier of the of the pit lane. Very interesting one, that. Hopefully we're going to see a clean race and finish with 18 racers. It's always unbearable when you get DNFs. We like to see a full grid finish. So there you have it, guys. A very exciting qualifying. Let's hope we get just an exciting race. So there you go, guys. From P1 all the way back to P18, we are separated by 2.5 seconds almost. Varying strategies being decided by the guys there. We've got a few softs, a few mediums and a few super softs. So while we're waiting for the guys to come out of the garages and form up on the grid, if you're watching tonight, give us your predictions. If you want to tweet us, include the Invictus Racing League tag. And I'm Energy Dan, who's your spectator this evening, and I will be for the remaining of the season. Give us your predictions, give us your questions, give us your comments, and if we have time, we will answer them during the race. Hopefully it won't be too long till I have all the racers ready and lined up on the grid. So here we go for the guys starting off to the formation lap. There's a lot of tyre spin there from Good Stuff. Probably just lighting those tyres up, getting some heat into them. So it'll be interesting. It is a very long start-finish straight coming up to turn 1 there. Nice sweeping right-hander with that. I find this turn 2 and turn 3 rather tricky to keep the speed, especially if you're on the medium tyres. Coming all the way around this one of turn 4, quite easy to get a lot of wheel spin at the back. So it looks like we've got clear skies for this race. It's a dry start. Will it stay dry? I've not seen the weather forecast. Be interesting to see what happens in the race. We do have dynamic weather in the league. So on this corner, watching the guys move now, you're going to see them take a lot of curb on that right hand and keep it nice and tight. The only way to really get places on this circuit is by pouncing on a driver's mistakes. There's not a lot of overtaking on this circuit. Majority of the overtaking will be done down the home finish straight when they get that DRS. The short DRS zone between 9 and 10, I'm not sure we're really going to see much there. You have to be right on the back of the racer. The detection zone is just before 9, halfway between 8 and 9. You have to be right on the back of that driver to make that DRS zone viable in any shape or form. So we're going to see a lot of position changes just from mistakes. Maybe we'll see some from genuine overtakes, but it's very tight, very technical, very tricky in there. Sharp turns on this circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see what overtakes happen and when. So just waiting for the last drivers to form up on the rear of the grid. And we are ready. We are about to see the red lights at the circuit to Catalonia. We've got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we are racing. And we see the puff of smoke from the tyres there as the guys light up those tyres. Coming down into the turn 1, we've got Good Stuff still holding into P1, followed by Tony White still in P2. Oh, I think there was contact there between GP Alex. Yeah, GP Alex has dropped down to 4. Vintano's back up to P3 now, going round, and it looks like P1, 2 and 3 are looking nice and tidy. We had Tony White and Vintano going taking a slightly wider turn there. So we've got White Fountain up 5 places. Oh, we've got an off there. We've got an off from Humberstone. Humberstone's gone off onto the gravel there. He's losing places. I think we're going to see him drop to the back of the grid. This is looking ferocious, and it's only lap 1. 8 places for White Fountain now. He's up into P5. Phenomenal start from White Fountain. We've also got Nick, who's up 4 places. Rudy's gone up 5 places. Wooden Spoon loser is Humberstone at the minute. He's sitting in P15. He's lost 10 places. He's back up to P14. So coming back round now to finish lap 1. So we've got Good Stuff and Tony Y in P1 and 2. Vintano's bringing up in P3 with GP Alex in P4. Looking down the times there, everyone's still quite compact. We have got nearly a second between Tony and Good Stuff. Also, Vintano's nearly a second. We don't have DRS yet, not until at least lap 3. We have got White Fountain in P5. Unbelievable start there. Did he just jump on any of the mistakes from the drivers? But that's a phenomenal start from White Fountain. What a brilliant getaway. Never missed sitting in P6. He's sitting half a second back. Aaron J. Spence 7/10 back. Steen, who's 5/10 back. We've got Nick, who's just he took it to 8/10 back. So let's just check in with the back of the grid and see what's happening down at the lower end. We've got Sir Spud, who's dropped down 9 places. We missed what happened to him there, but that's not a good start for Sir Spud. We've got the Flying Scotsman, who's down in P17. He's gained a place. Probably from that, whatever reason has dropped Sir Spud down. We've got Jamie, he's dropped a place. Colin J's moved up 1. They've obviously swapped with Jamie there. Give that a slow moving, Colin. So we've got MJ Coops coming to the pit. He's coming off those medium tyres. Has he got damage? Maybe MJ Coop had damage. We do not know. So moving back up as I was before, we've got Jamie, who's sitting in P13. He's 1.4 back from Humberstone. Humberstone's dropped down the order. 7 places for Humberstone as he went off there into the gravel that we saw on lap 1, I believe it was. We've got Rudy, who's up 6 places. Good stuff from Rudy there. He's 1.8 back on Tynus. Let's just have a quick look at what tyres they're on. So Rudy's on the soft tyre, Tynus on the super soft. So obviously Rudy at some point is gonna, as long as he stays close to the back of Tynus, he's gonna leapfrog him on those soft tyres. He can go a lot longer on those soft tyres. Tynus sitting there, 1.2 back from Nick, who's on the medium tyres. Now let's just keep an eye on Nick in our heads as we go through this first stage. He's on the medium tyre, sitting in P9. Not a bad place to be in my eyes. He's more than a second in front of Tyner, so he's not going to be able to get the DRS disadvantage from the rear there. So are we going to see something awesome from Nick here? Is he going to be one of our podium finishes for this race? Can he make? Is he going to go onto the soft tyres for his next stint? We'll soon see. Moving up past Nick, we've got Aaron J. Spence, who's nipping on the heels of Steen. Oh, actually, he takes over. He's just taken over Steen. What a brilliant move there. So Aaron J. Spence is up into P7. Back into the position he started in there. So it looks like Aaron J. Spence he's chomping at the bit there. He wants to move on to the back and never miss. He's less than a second now, so if he stays within that 1 second, he's going to get the DRS. And now look at this pack, it's very, very tight there. We've got Never Miss all over the back of White Fountain, who's also on the back of GP Alex, who's sitting on the back of Vintano. So it's a tight pack between 3 and 7. So amazing stuff. See a pub smoke there, drivers going slightly wide, just kicking up a bit of the dirt there. This is a brilliant pack to follow. It's all quite tight there. So if you guys watching, if you don't mind, I'm just going to stick with this pack and watch the racing that unfolds, because it looks like the guys are raring to get some places in this first stint. So we've got Never Miss on the Super Soft, who's all over the back of White Fountain. That is expected, but the longer Never Miss. White Fountain has got in front. White Fountain has got in front of Aaron J. Spencer. He's now moved up into P5. So is Never Miss going to move on to White Fountain now? White Fountain, have a look there on GP Alex. This would be impressive if White Fountain can make a move on GP Alex, because he is on the medium tyre. There's less grip there. Alex is on the soft tyre. He's done 4 laps on those, so it'd be interesting to see whether White Fountain can put a move on Alex and take the P3 spot. Obviously, White Fountain's going to go much longer than Alex, Tony and Good Stuff. Now, Tony White 4.5 seconds back from Good Stuff. Good Stuff's raging there on those soft tyres. Coming through those tricky corners of 7 and 8. Can he keep it tight? Great, brilliant racing from White Fountain and GP Alex here. Let's just drop back from Never Miss and see if we can get Aaron J. Spencer Never Miss in the mix. See, we've got a lot of racers all in that short gaggle there. As we come down the old finish straight. So DRS activated 3 laps ago, so we're going to get some position changes here. Oh, it's going to be 2 into 1 corner there. Oh, Never Miss just backs out at the last minute. So we've got Steen and Nick. They're tossing position there. We've got Steen coming on the left hand side of Nick. Oh, he's keeping it right on the back of that gearbox of Nick. So Steen is on the soft tyre, who's got slightly more grip than Nick. Can we see some awesome stuff from Nick and just keep that Steen behind him? Brilliant racing here from this front pack. White Fountain sitting 7.3 back from Good Stuff. Let's just check in with Good Stuff and see what he's doing. Oh, he's got a bit. He's storming into a lead there. Surely he's looking at his telemetry and he's thinking, this is brilliant, exactly where I want to be. 4th gear coming up to that. Yeah, it drops into 3, drops into 2. Yeah, like I was saying at the start of qualifying, most races do go up to 4, then back down to 2 to take those final 2 corners. So Good Stuff is sitting pretty there, dropping back to the grid. Got Sir Spud, who's done 4 laps on some soft tyres. We've got Craig, also done some. He's done 4 laps on those. So we've got soft tyres all the way to Rudy, who's so all the races up to P10 are on some fresh softs. This is interesting. Oh, actually, no, Colin J, I don't think he's pitted yet. So we've got Never Miss coming into the pit off those super softs. Let's see what he goes on to. Is he going to choose some mediums and go to the end? Be a tough deal to do that, mediums to the end, but we'll soon see. I'm showing Jay Coops got some catching up to do. Let's see what we can see from him during this race. So let's just slowly move to the front of the grid, coming through the drivers. Let's see if we can catch some action. So Tynus is nearly 5 seconds back from Never Miss. Never Mix is also 5 seconds back from Vintino. We're not going to see any action there. Vintino is 1.3 back from Tony Y, who's sitting 4.3 back from Colin. So Colin is 6 laps on those soft tyres. Tony's got some fresh softs on, so surely he's going to bring in that 4 seconds. So we might see a battle soon. We've got Yellers in sector 3. Colin J 7 seconds back from Steen. We've got Steen dropping back. Oh, we've got some twitching there from Tony Y, was it, I believe? So Colin in the Merc there, trying to put some pressure on Steen. They've both done 6 laps on those soft tyres. Rudy 7 laps, or 4 seconds back from Jamie. He's done 7 laps on those medium tyres. He's got a way to go before we need to start seeing him come in. But Humberstone, he's up to P6 now, sitting 4 seconds back. Just under 0.7 seconds back from Nick. Nick is up into P5 on those medium tyres. So we're seeing the pit strategies coming into effect. People creeping up the order, the people who are going long. So we're seeing a slight increase there from Humberstone. He's catching up to Nick. It is the braking zone, but what will happen on the acceleration phase? So we've got Nick, who's trying to fight that gap between Aaron and GP Alex. They all seem to be bunching up now. Are we seeing the tyre degradation come into effect? All over that curb there. Getting some nice acceleration out and coming down the unfinished straight. Now we're going to see DRS from the rear 3 racers there. What is going to happen? Will that change the order before we get to turn 1? Not enough time there. Oh, we see a late lunge. We see a late lunge from Aaron J. Spence. Can he keep it? Oh, did touch slightly. Oh, brilliant move there. We've got some wheel racing here. We've got Aaron J. Spence coming through. Can he keep this? Let's just ride along with Aaron J. Spence here. We've got Nick nipping at his heels. Oh, tossing for position here. So GP Alex is keeping that P3 spot. We've got Aaron J. Spence nipping his heels. Nick and Humberstone all getting up in the mix there. This is a serious love train going on here. They are fighting for position. So we see the rear wings open there. 3 of the racers down that short DRS zone between 9 and 10. This is brilliant stuff. So we've got Humberstone, Aaron J. Spence and Nick and GP Alex sitting around 12 to 13 seconds. Oh, we go all over the curve for Aaron J. Spence there. Drivers need to be careful of cutting these corners. We don't want too many warnings. We don't want to see penalties towards the end of the race. This is a brilliant battle. Sorry if you're watching at home and you want to watch other races. I cannot bring myself to go away from this pack here. This is brilliant racing. We will break away from this group shortly. We just want to see what's going to happen. We're getting some amazing racing here from the guys. So Nick's into P3, GP1 Alex is sitting in P4 now. Humberstone looks like he's suffering with those tyres. Is he getting attacked there from Aaron J. Spence? Yeah, he's all over the back of that gearbox. Are we going to see Aaron J. Spence take him on the next DRS zone? He's all over that gearbox. They are on equal level tyres here. Both done 9 laps on those tyres. Oh, we've got a 3-second time penalty for Jamie 6-3. Multiple warnings. This is what we're saying about the penalties. We don't want to see the penalties. We want to see the racers getting the accolades that they deserve. We hate seeing these penalties, but unfortunately they do happen. So White Fountain is in P2, going longer on those medium tyres. So Nick's 12 seconds back from P1 there. Let's just see what the interval is. So yeah, we've got Nick sitting 7 seconds back. So we've got some movement here. Humberstone, GP Alex are absolutely tossing position here. Let's just go back and see what these guys are doing. These guys are furiously fighting for position. This is brilliant stuff from the guys. We've got a yellow in sector 3. So White Fountain and Nick are up 11 places respectively. So obviously these guys are going to stay out and go as long as they can on those medium tyres now. Like I said, just with the opening stages of qualifying, are the guys going to go medium softs, and are the guys that started on softs going to go soft mediums? Personally, I think it's very tricky on this circuit with such aggression that you have to have on these corners. It's always impressive to see a one-stop, especially on this circuit. I personally struggle on a one-stop. Obviously my skill level is nowhere near what these guys are doing. So Aaron J. Spence still all over the back of GP1 Alex there, followed by Jamie 6-3. Now obviously Jamie's going to be wanting to catch up and get in front of these guys. He's got a penalty. So DRS opens for Jamie, as does Aaron J. Spence. So that's quite neutralised. That's just like going to the back of a racer, just with just a slipstream. Oh, close wheel to wheel there. Did great not to touch. Now the only trouble coming around the Circuit de Catalunya, following people, you do get that tyre slide. So you want to either get in front of people quickly, or just stay slightly back. It's going to wreck your tyres. Let's just check in with good stuff. Our lone wolf out in the front there. He's got a 5-second lead. So good stuff done. 11 laps on those soft tyres. We're probably going to see maybe 16 laps out of those. With the medium tyres maybe doing 20-21. Correct me if I'm wrong. So good stuff comes in for some fresh rubber. He's decided to come in for some fresh trainers. So we're going to see White Fountain taking P1, provisional P1 at the minute, and Nick will follow suit, I'm sure of it. Nick have we seen a mistake from Nick there? He's now sitting 8 seconds back from White Fountain. We've got Humberstone in P3, who is nipping at the heels there, 1.2 seconds back. From 12 laps on those soft tyres. That is interesting. So are we going to see any movement from Humberstone, as we did see with Nick? Nick's managed to come out in P2. That's a brilliant strategy from Nick there. So I think Nick is going to try and go to the end on these medium tyres. He's come out in a great position there. Humberstone obviously going to start suffering on those tyres very soon. Oh no, my apologies. They've not stopped yet. My apologies for the confusion there, guys. Oh no, it's good stuff. My apologies. It was good stuff that pitted. So White Fountain, Nick, Humberstone and Jamie have all still got to pit. Apologies for that. Three-second time penalty for MJ Coupe there. Not what we want to see. We got yellows in sectors 2 and 3. Do we see any movement on the positions? We don't see any movement on the positions, so that might just be a couple of racers going slightly wide, bringing those yellows out. So it looks like we're getting into the settling in phase of this race. This is where we're going to start seeing strategies interlink. We're going to see undercuts and overcuts. We're going to see position changes. So looking down there, we've got a DNF from Steen. So we have lost 1 racer so far. Let's hope we don't lose any more. Vintino he's doing a good race. Vintino actually. He had that scary moment in qualifying where he went into the central reservation. Not one to see, but yeah, he's looking good there. Done 9 laps on those soft tyres, so pretty much sure he's going to have to stop again. Oh, good stuff. Has done a fastest lap of 1:20.5 on those fresh medium tyres. So, looking at Aaron J. Spence, he's 35 seconds back from the leader now. P1, 2, 3 are all going to have to pit soon. So that will obviously bring Aaron... it's going to be tight there. It's looking at 15 seconds back, so might only gain 1 position during the pit stop phase there. Let's see how that pans out when we start to see the guys pit. MJ Coupe, 42 seconds back. We've got a 3-second time penalty for Tinus. Multiple warnings. So the penalties are starting to come through thick and fast. So far from what I've caught, we've got 3 races with 3-second time penalties. So far it's Jamie, 6-3, MJ Coupe and Tinus. So White Fountains crossed the finish line to start another lap on those medium tyres, followed by Nick and Jamie as well has carried on going. Sorry for interruption there. If you saw that on the stream, I had a disconnection on my pad. I do apologise about that. So White Fountain, Nick and Jamie still sitting in P1, 2 and 3. Still not being in yet for any fresh rubber. Good stuff. He's on fresh tyres, 1.7 back from Jamie. So we're obviously going to see Good Stuff take the lead as long as we're not seeing any mistakes from him. Tony Y, we've seen a strong race from Tony so far. He's done 10 laps on those soft tyres. I think we are... got a time second penalty there. I missed who it was. I do apologise. But we are getting penalties galore. So we've got Tony Y coming in for fresh rubber. Humberstone is going to leapfrog him, as will Never Miss. Aaron J and probably NJ Coupe will all come up 1 place because of that pit stop. Let's just see where Tony Y slots back in when he comes out of the pits. In fact, let's ride on board with MJ Coupe. He's coming down the home finish line. Doesn't get DRS because he's not following anyone within a second. It's going to be tight, this, actually. No, he doesn't do it. So Tony Y manages to come out in P8 on some fresh tyres. So MJ Coupe on 14 laps on those softs. He's doing a great job on those softs, but surely we're going to have to see some movement into the pit lane. Let's just hope he's been looking after those tyres. Vintino is doing alright. He's in P10 on some fresh mediums. So once we see MJ Coupe pit and Never Miss, we might see Vintino come up a couple of places. Now P1, 2 and 3, they have still got to pit. Let's see where they're sitting. So Vintino is sitting 46 seconds back, so no chance of taking any of the podium spots once he does his pit stop. However, he will probably come out in front of by the looks of it. Maybe Aaron Spence. No, maybe a bit more actually. He's probably coming P5 probably, but we'll see what happens when he comes into pit. That'll be interesting to watch. So let's go check out our leaders and see how they're getting on. Let's watch from Nick's point of view. He's sitting 8 seconds back from White Fountain, so White Fountain is bringing out quite a lead there. They're on the same strategy by the looks of it, so it looks like White Fountain is having a better race. Good stuff, being followed closely by Jamie. He's almost within that 1 second, so are we going to see movement from Jamie and Good Stuff? Good Stuff is on the fresher tyres though. I'm surprised that Jamie's managed to come up to the back of him there. And then separated by quite a mile is Humberstone on fresh mediums. So we could see quite a solid race coming from Humberstone if he manages to keep those mediums in a good working order and goes to the end on those mediums. Then that's a good strategy and good race from Humberstone. But we'll soon see. Lap 19 of 33. So fastest start from Good Stuff at 120.3 in that Haas on the medium tyre. So Jamie's dropped back now. He's dropped it to 2.2. He's on 18 laps on those medium tyres, so maybe that was just a mistake we saw from Good Stuff that made him catch up a little bit. So 18 laps. Are we going to see much more? I was thinking 19, 20 laps on those medium tyres. They have been battling for position, so it doesn't do well battling for your tyres. You get a lot of hot spots. If you overwork those tyres, you lose grip, you lose rubber, start to see slides. Jamie, however, is actually looking quite good on those tyres. Grabbing a whole lot of curb there coming through turn 8. So we've lost Sir Spud, our second DNF. Sir Spud has been ejected from the race, so 2 races lost. Let's hope we don't lose any more. We're down to the last 16 races. And we're seeing Jamie coming for some fresh rubbers, wondering how long he'd better last on those. So are we going to see Humberstone as he comes round into turn 14, 15 and 16? Will he be able to jump Jamie? Humberstone's done 4 laps on those medium tyres. Coming down turn 16 now, coming on to the home finish straight. Obviously no DRS for Humberstone. And he think he's done it yet. Humberstone has moved up into P3. Nick P4. Aaron J has now dropped down into P5. Jamie sitting in P6 with Never Miss in P7. P8, sorry, for... Oh, Never Miss. What's happening with Never Miss? Never Miss is looking slow there. Oh, sorry, my apologies, in the pit. So Never Miss is pitted. He's come for some fresh softs. He's got 13 laps to do on those soft tyres. More than achievable with lighter fuel. So we've got Colin Jews creeping up onto the backs of GP1 Alex. So let's ride on. Let's just stay on board of this race, see what happens. We've got 5 fresher tyres for Colin. He's got a bit of a lock up there. Bit of a lock up from GP1 Alex. Is he feeling the pressure? Grabbing a whole lot of curb. He didn't grab as much curb as I thought he would do there. Maybe just playing it smart, keeping those tyres in a nice temperature range, not putting too much stress on them. Oh, GP1 Alex, it looked there from the graphics that he was getting a bit of oversteer. He was in the braking zone. That'd be very interesting to see all the different setups that the guys have chosen. Unfortunately, we don't get to see that. It would be really interesting to see whether they have the different front balance, rear balance. Getting the balance right around this circuit is key. I've made many a mistake. I've gone too aggressive on the downforce and wrecked my tyres. Looks like he's just dropping back ever so slightly there. So Collins is not going to try and put a move on him. Let's just slowly make our way to the front of the grid going through. We've got GP1 Alex who's sitting 3.5 back from Vintino. Vintino in the Force India there, he's sitting 2.6 back from Tony Y, who's done 4 laps on those medium tyres, so I don't think we're going to see much movement between those two. Tony's sitting nearly 9 seconds back from Jamie, who's on fresh soft, so very unlikely that we're going to see any movement from Tony attacking Jamie there, but you never know. Jamie's sitting 1 second back from Aaron J. Spence, who's done 8 laps on those mediums, so this might be our next movement in the table. So let's just have a look at our league table and just compare that to the racing positions as we speak. So Good Stuff sitting at the top spot. He would double his point advantage over the field. He would remove to 30 points. Now Nizmax is in second place in the league, so he would obviously drop down quite considerably when everyone else scores their points. White Fountain's currently got 3 points, so if he keeps that P2 position, he's got fresh soft, so I don't see why he couldn't keep that P2. He would obviously gain another 12 points for his 3 and make it 15. This is going to be interesting to see how all these point changes affect the table. Let's just hope all the guys can keep it on the track and see that checkered flag. We see Aaron going slightly wide there. Oh, sorry, Jamie going slightly wide. Jamie's on 2 laps on those soft tyres, so I'm sure he's eager to put a move onto Aaron there. Let's just ride with Jamie's point of view so we can see any move that he does. So looking like the field is opening up as we're coming into the latter stages. We've got the last 10 laps coming up. We've got quite a few gaps opening up there. Rudy has just got a 3-second time penalty, corner cut in. So Rudy with a 3-second time penalty. Let's just check the penalty board. From what I've seen, I may have missed some. I did last race, so apologies if I have missed any, but we've got penalties for Jamie 6-3, MJ Coop, Tynus and Rudy. So looking there, Tynus is sitting in P16, so that's not really going to affect anything. MJ Coop is sitting in, I've lost him. MJ Coop P13, so unless we see any movement from him, it's not really going to affect MJ Coop. Yeah, and Rudy down in P16, so it's looking like the guys that will bring up the rear are all the ones picking up the penalties there. Let's just hope we don't see any penalties coming from the front runners. That'd be tragic. Jamie's putting some serious pressure on Jay Spence there. He is on those fresher tyres, fresh soft tyres. He's going to be trying to take full advantage of DRS here. He's going to come up to the back of him coming down on turn 1. Can he close that gap? The trick is keeping that momentum through 2 and 3. So racing down into turn 4, can he get up to the back of him? He's going to try and close this gap in the next few corners. So coming up to the sharp left of turn 5, the slight dog left of 6 coming up. The tricky corner coming up of 7 and 8. Are they going to hug the curb of 8 and get as much speed coming out of this corner as possible? No, they don't get any curb there. So it looks like they're saving the tyres, but he is coming up to the back of Aaron here. He is putting some pressure on. He gets DRS down the short straight here between 9 and 10. Hard braking for that sharp left-hander of turn 10. This is brilliant racing from Jamie. He's putting some serious pressure on Aaron here. So while we were riding on board with Jamie there, we saw that he didn't go up to gear 4 for that for the sharp turn of turn 14. Most racers do. He's all on the back of him on the finish straight here. Can he put a move down the right? Yep, he puts a move down the right. Can he keep it? DRS is open. Can they keep it clean into turn 1? Jamie is on the soft tyre. He's going to have much more grip. Oh, Aaron's coming back at him. Brilliant racing here from Aaron and Jamie. Brilliant racing. We've got Nick, who's also nipping it. Oh yeah! Oh, we've got a 5 second stop and go penalty from Craig as we see Humberstone go around the outside of Nick. Nick's come back at him on the left side. Oh, they touch! But Nick comes out in front. Brilliant racing from Nick and Humberstone here. Humberstone is all over the back of the Nick. They're putting serious pressure on each other. So Humberstone did have DRS available to him there, but he didn't use it. We got a yellow in sector 1. So we got a DNF from Tynus here. Tynus and Rudy, looks like they're out. Looks like they must have had a tussle there. Have we seen Tynus and Rudy come together? We had 2 more DNFs just in that split second as we were watching the racing between Humberstone and Nick. So we've got 4 retirements so far. Humberstone's dropping back, didn't get DRS there, so it looks like Nick is pushing the boundaries to get to that P3 spot. Good stuff. It's 3.4 seconds in front of White Fountain. He's on 13 laps on those mediums. He's got a good few laps left on those yet. Let's just check in with Good Stuff and see how his tyres are holding up. Getting greedy on the curb there between turns 7 and 8. So looking like we've got Good Stuff on his way to a good race win here if he can keep it clean and tidy on those medium tyres. Let's just see what White Stuff's doing. 6 laps on those soft tyres. He's got 3.4 seconds to make up before he can start putting serious pressure. Good Stuff, 3 second time penalty for Good Stuff. Not what we wanted to see. So White Fountain, he don't think he'll have seen that because he's racing. So Good Stuff, 3 second time penalty. He's just put some serious pressure on himself. Not only has he done 14 laps on those tyres, he's got a 3 second time penalty. White Fountain is technically sitting in the P1 position. This is not what we wanted to see. I don't like these penalties. We want to see racers going head to head, but obviously if you don't keep it on the track, you're going to pick up those penalties. So White Fountain, does he realise that has he seen the message? Is he getting it from his race engineers that Good Stuff has got a time penalty? If he's heard that, his eyes will have lit up. Now Nick's probably seen that, or been hearing that as well. So is Nick going to put the pedal to the metal, put pressure on White Fountain and try and take positions from Good Stuff here? Now Good Stuff will have seen that he's got a penalty. Will that put extra pressure on him? Are we going to see Good Stuff crumble? We don't know. He's not the type of racer to crumble, but you never know what's going to happen. I don't think he's going to make that time up now. Nearly 2.2 seconds. It's dropping. White Fountain's getting closer and closer. So we've got Nick sitting 18 seconds back. So technically 15 seconds back from Good Stuff. It's not going to. I don't think that's going to be enough. Got 6 laps remaining. So Good Stuff's tyres are starting to drop off. We've got 3 second time penalty for Never Miss. So Never Miss gets a time penalty. Never Miss sitting in P14, so that's not really going to affect the race whatsoever. I can't believe Good Stuff picked up that time penalty. I wonder what got that penalty. Did he have a mistake on those medium tyres that made him go slightly through a corner? White Fountain, his eyes must have lit up if he's seen that. He obviously knows the tyres aren't doing too well because he's managed to pull in that time that Good Stuff had over him. 5 laps remaining. White Fountain must be racing, thinking about a race win here. Now hopefully when White Fountain does catch Good Stuff, are they going to keep it clean? Let's just move back through the field. So we've got Humberstone following Nick. MJ Cooper's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. That's another time penalty for MJ Coop. That's 6 seconds. He's sitting down in P11. He was sitting 9 seconds back from P10, his point scoring position, so not really going to affect him much there. Unless he was on a charge, then obviously that's just put a dampener on any hopes he had of scoring a point. Jamie sitting 7 seconds back from Humberstone. I've not seen any penalties for Humberstone. If I have missed any penalties, I do apologise, guys. Tony Wise sitting 10 seconds back from Aaron J. Spence, so we're not going to see much pressure on Aaron there. 3 second time penalty for Humberstone. Humberstone's got a penalty. So, oh, maybe I jinxed it there. Humberstone has got a penalty. Humberstone's in P4. 1 second back, so 7 seconds. So Jamie, if Jamie has seen that, he's going to think, right, I need to put the pedal to the metal. He's got 14 laps on those medium tyres. So does Jamie know how many laps he's done on those tyres? 8 seconds. So 3 second time penalty for Humberstone. 5 seconds. 5 seconds in 5 laps. It's not unheard of. They are on different tyres. 9 laps on those softs and then 14s on the mediums. Is that kind of neutral territory? I'm not sure we're going to see much movement there. That's probably the lap delta, and that time penalty has probably just neutralised that, so we might not see much changing. It's going to be interesting to see what we do in the final 3 laps of this race. Good stuff is still hanging on in there, but he's got a 3 second time penalty. White Fountain sitting 1.5 back, done 10 laps on those softs, so should still have some decent amount of grip on those soft tyres. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully that's not any races coming together. There's no race. It looks like they're touching each other by the times there. The distance delta. So out of the race, we've got Never Miss, Tynus, Rudy, Sir Spud, and Steen, all DNFs. Not what we wanted to see. So currently in the points, we've got Good Stuff, White Fountain. Oh, we've got a virtual safety car. So was that Never Miss that caused that there? Virtual safety car. Yep, Never Miss is there in the background, just as he came up to turn, in between turn 9 and 10. He's obviously taken it a bit too wide, got some wheel spin, and gone into the barriers. Unfortunate for Never Miss there. Virtual safety car, gains and losses are neutralised. Everyone's got to keep the same lap delta. Not what you really want though, if you're trying to attack for position. Hopefully we see this virtual safety car end pretty quick. Yeah, we got green lights, we are racing again. Virtual safety car has ended. So we've got Good Stuff and White Fountain still in P1, P2. White Fountain is nipping on the heels of Good Stuff. Remember, Good Stuff has got that penalty, so technically White Fountain is sitting in the P1 position. We've got Nick, who's 16 seconds back. Looks like he's going to be sitting very nicely in the P3 position. Humberstone with that time penalty will probably push him. Yeah, might keep that P4. We've got Jamie 6'3", who's also got a 3 second time penalty. So that will drop him behind Aaron J. Spence. I can't remember if we got a penalty from Aaron J. Spence. We have had quite a few penalties now. So it's always good to see the guys racing regardless of penalties. So other than the position changes due to penalties, is this what we're watching now with Jamie and Aaron? Are this going to be maybe the last ditch effort from these two racers? Can Aaron pick it up on the next 2 laps and put a move in on Jamie? Now Jamie obviously has got 3 second time penalty, so Aaron's already sitting in that provisional P5 position. So let's just flick through slowly and just check through before we come to our final lap and watch our P1 position coming through. So Tony Y there, moving slowly back. We've got Vintino, followed by GP1 Alex, who's done 20 laps on those medium tyres. Jamie 6'3", another time penalty. Not what you wanted from Jamie 6'3". So Jamie and MJ Coop all picking up double penalties so far. So Tony Y is in contention for the P5 position. If you can put in some good times now in the final stages of this race. A 6-second penalty for Jamie, so he's sitting then 5 seconds now. It's probably too much for Tony to catch up. He has done 15 laps on those medium tyres. Now let's go back to our race leader, White Fountain. Good stuff has dropped down to P2. We have seen a position, an on-track position change there. Brilliant race from White Fountain here. Absolute brilliant race. So let's stay with him on the final lap. We've seen some amazing racing from the guys here. Unfortunately, we have had DNFs. That unfortunate off from never miss. I think we saw Tynus and Rudy. They clashed, unfortunately sending both racers out of the race. We've got a yellow in sector 3. A yellow in sector 3. I think it looks like MJ Coupe was dropping down. Craig's managed to gain a position on MJ Coupe. Just watching White Fountain coming up onto the last closing corners of this circuit. It's been a fantastic race from White Fountain. It's been a fantastic race from Good Stuff apart from that penalty. Now, Good Stuff may lose P2 here because we've got Nick coming up on that 3 seconds, but we've got White Fountain coming around the final turn and he's about to cross the line and he takes his win of the Circuit de Catalunya, round 2 of the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. What a race from White Fountain there. We've got Good Stuff who will be coming across the line ever so shortly. And Good Stuff drops down to P4, so we've got Nick bringing in your P2 position, followed by Humberstone. Great race from Humberstone there, finishing on the medium tyres. Jamie 632 will be coming across the line shortly, but will lose out when he takes those penalties. So we've got Aaron J. Spence sitting in P5, Jamie 63 who's sitting in P6, Tony Y should be bringing up the P7 position. Tony Y in P7, we got Vincent in P8, GP1 Alex in P9, Colin J, let's see what happens, he's sitting in P10, yep, Craig comes along the line ever so shortly, yeah, he takes P11, no, he loses out to Jamie, T92 who took P11, Craig P12, MJ Coupe bringing up the rear with the wooden spoon position, followed by our DNF finishers. So what a race we have seen. That was electrifying. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed that. And there are your podium sitters for round 2 of the Invictus Racing League. We got White Fountain taking his win. Absolute fantastic there. And here comes the champagne. So we got Nick and Humberstone bringing your P2 and P3 positions. Fantastic race from those guys. I'm sure the guys will be thrilled. More points for the table. So there you have it, guys. White Fountain taking a win, followed by Nick and then Humberstone. Good stuff. Followed by Aaron J. Spence, Jamie in P6, Tony Y in P7, Vincino in P8, GP1 Alex in P9, and bringing in the final point scoring position is Colin J in P10. Unlucky for the rest of the racers. We had a few penalties there. 9 seconds for MJ Coupe, not the race we want to see from MJ Coupe. Got 5 seconds for Craig, and also never missed picking up a penalty, but also DNF. So what a race we have had there. Fantastic. I cannot wait for the next instalment. Right guys, it's Energy Dan, your commentator here. I'd just like to speak to P1, P2 and P3, our race winner. It was White Fountain. White Fountain, are you there with us? White Fountain doesn't seem to be there with us. Nick, have we got Nick there? Hi Nick. How was that race for you, mate? Looked like you had some great racing.
Yeah, it's hard work, real hard work. Messed up quality totally, so I think we started 14th or 15th, and then just trying to avoid trouble and just sort of pick off the places where I could.
Great come.
Start the first lap seemed a bit messy, and then managed to make up a lot of space.
Yeah, it was great to watch, Nick. It really was. But we did see quite a lot of penalties coming out from their races. Do you guys get to see that when you're racing? Your eyes fixed on the corners and the braking zones?
No, you sometimes get radio messages if there are penalties, and you can request the information from the driver in front and behind. But personally, I don't really pay much attention.
Yeah, obviously just keeping your eyes peeled. Yeah. What do you think about White Fountain's win there?
Unbelievable. To win by 16 seconds starting from where he did on the grid was incredible. I don't know what happened with good stuff at the end, but either way.
Yeah. Good stuff. Picked up a penalty towards his final stage, final stint there, and it was quite tight whether he was going to keep that position. But White Fountain did keep pressing on him, and it was interesting to watch towards the end. But it was exciting for me. I'm sure it was exciting for the guys at home. But well, let's see what happens in the next instalment, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to leave you there, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.